Hey guys, Chris of the California Kings here. I'm going to talk about something that has nothing to do with video games for a second. So nobody lose your mind. Let's not lose our shit right now. Um, so really, this is just a real quick reaction to the fact that two sequels have been announced for a movie. Number one, a comic book film that has been released earlier this year, and number two, one that hasn't even come out yet. We just know of it, and everybody's jerking off to it because that's apparently what they're supposed to do. Fox has announced that they're working on sequels for number one, Deadpool, and number two, Fantastic Four. And if you're like me and you went and saw the Fantastic Four movie that came out, it feels like it came out like forever ago, but it's really only been a month. And why the fuck? Why the fuck? Why? No. Just no. Guys, don't do it. Don't do it. Let me give you something here real fast. Number one, what you need to do in regards to the Fantastic Four franchise, and I'm talking directly to you, Fox, and Simon Kinberg, who is the guy who is spearheading the movement to try and get a sequel to this film made. This is what you need to do. You need to give it to Marvel. That's all you need to do. You just need to give it to Marvel, okay? And for those of you who are actually in on that idea, who would be more than willing to see a Fantastic Four film done by Marvel Studios, because you know they would do it right. This is how I would do it. What you would do is it would have to spin out of the Infinity War. You've got you know Thanos is going to be involved in the Infinity War, the Infinity Gauntlet. There's going to be a lot of cosmic stuff. You're going to have the Inhumans film coming out after this. So that Marvel has films planned all the way up until 2019. So what we do then is, you plan your Fantastic Four movie for either 2020 or 2021. Give at least 5 years for the really nasty, rancid, awful taste of the film that just came out to get out of people's minds, lives. Now, the whole night, it just needs to die and burn and be forgotten. Absolutely, that film was shit. It was so bad, and I wanted it to be just good. Okay, I wanted it to be okay, but it was awful. So this is what you would do. Spinning out of the Infinity War, the Inhumans, you obviously have a lot of cosmic stuff going on. So you take the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards and Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm. They're a bunch of research scientists. They're deciding to go into space to investigate some of these new cosmic energies that have been released as part of whatever the fuck Marvel has been doing with their films up until this point. Simple setup. You've got your origin story in the first 5 minutes of the film. You don't need to build up to anything. All you have to do is just go, hey, all this shit's been going on. Oh, okay, we're gonna go look into it. Oh, okay, fantastic. Boom. Rocket ship goes flying into outer space. They have issues. Oh no, we have to get out of it. Fly down, back down. Cut to black. Show the title. Fantastic Four. Fade in to Reed Richards slowly opening his eyes from his perspective. All right, and then you see Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, lean in and go like, "Oh, are you all right, man? Because you took a really, you hit your head hard. Like it looks weird, but it's bad simultaneously." And then that's when we get our first shot of Reed Richards, like close up on his eyes. He's like, what do you mean?" And as we slowly see that Reed's head is like dented inward because his plasticine abilities have come in, so he's all super stretchy. So when he got hit in the head, it's like formed like a mold, right? And that's why Star Lord's like, "You're alive, like for real?" Because I've seen some really weird stuff, and this is up there. Like, you're alive? And then like Reed he looks at himself in the mirror and he's like, and it like pops back into place, and then we just get introduced to the Fantastic Four over the course of like the next 5 to 10 minutes, and we realize that they've got these abilities. So then the film becomes about they're trying to figure out, number one, how do we get back to normal? Number two, where did this stuff come from? So Reed is simultaneously being pulled back and forth between, the inherent research science is part of him that's going like, where did this come from? I need to find this out. But then you've got everybody, especially like Ben Grimm, going, no, I'm a monster now. Blah, 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 blah. But like, there's a part of me that would want to kind of change things for Ben just a little bit. Because in the Fantastic Four movie that we got, we saw Ben lose faith in Reed Richards like automatically, and that was like a part of his character development. And if anything, Ben Grimm does not give up on Reed Richards. He gets mad at him. He will have arguments with him, but he doesn't give up on Reed Richards. He knows that Reed will come through in the end, even if you have to kick Reed's ass just a little bit. So I wouldn't make like there has been this push, especially with Ultimate Fantastic Four that came out a few years ago, in which they made the Thing this like depressed, like somber, oh, I've turned into a monster, now look at me, sort of. I tried to slit my wrists, but the blades kept breaking on my rocky skin, and this has not been grim. Like, one of the few things that the two Fantastic Four films that came out in, like, '04 and '07, the first one and then The Rise of the Silver Surfer, I felt like they really got Ben Grimm's character, they really got it down, He is a little jokey. He does laugh. He's rough and tumble. He's from the streets. He's like just a decent stand-up guy. One thing that they forgot though is that he is an amazing pilot. So, you'd have to throw scenes of Ben being a great pilot and, finding out that he's even tougher than he used to be because he grew up on Yancey Street. He's just a brawler at heart. So now he knows that he can take all this damage. So there is an upside to that. It just kind of like shrugs it off and he goes, that tickled, and then he goes into it, and then Susan Storm is way more optimistic, like where Reed like gets hyper focused, she is almost kind of like his compass point. She knows how to get him to turn around, and she knows Susan is the strategist of the team. She goes, this is where we need to go, this is what we need to do, this is how we need to do it. And where Reed, when he puts his focus on something, he's the one, his brain works the way to get it there. Susan is the one who points him in the direction. She sees him. And that's why she's always been like number one, the most powerful character of the group, what with the invisibility and the force fields and everything, but she's also the master strategist. Like, and that might sound weird to hear the Invisible Woman is the strategist of the team, but go back and look at their history. If you ignore kind of like how Stan Lee and Jack Kirby set her up in the very beginning in the comic books, it's kind of like oh, I'm the girl, oh, I'm the girl. Susan is very much the rock of the team. She is very much the one who goes, we need to go here, we need to do this. And that, I think, should be much more present in her on-screen characterizations. Johnny Storm is, he is, Johnny. He is the definition of impulsive, and that's basically his character. But he's got a good heart. So he's like, he's like, ah, damn it. And then he knows when he has to do the right thing. And for the most part, he does the right thing. But it's usually while he's like, I'm dicking around and I'm doing stuff. And there you go. There's your Fantastic Four. All you got to do is just put it at the tail end of all the Infinity War stuff that's coming out. Fox, just give it to Marvel. That's all you got to do. Marvel, all you have to do is just a 5-minute scene at the very beginning where they're like, we're about to take off, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna, and then title, Star Lord, and then what, and then all the powers. In 15 minutes, you will have had your entire origin story told. We don't need another origin film. We don't need another explanation of how they got to where they are or what they're doing. All we need to do is cut, print, drive. We know who the Fantastic Four are. Get to the point where they get their powers. Then what do they do with them? We don't have to focus on the whole, like, how do we get... You need to incorporate, like, what do we do now? Because obviously Reed is going to be working on trying to heal them, trying to cure them, trying to get all that stuff done. But then the question becomes, what do we do with them now? That's what you should do. So anyways, that's my reaction to Fox announcing that they're working on a Fantastic Four sequel. It's awful. It's terrible. You shouldn't even be doing it. You guys should not be doing it. Shame on you. Honestly, Fox, shame on you for even considering to do a sequel to that horrible, abysmal piece of shit Fantastic Four film. And even more shame on you, you're going to be coming out with it in less than 2 years after its release. Yeah, right now they're eyeing a June 2017 release. Considering that the first film came out August 2015, that's less than 2 years. Less. You guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. Not only are you not taking into account that this thing was a giant steaming shitball, you're going to release it less than 2 years apart. Less. Shame on you. Give it to Marvel. I just, like with Spider-Man, just go make a deal. Go do it. Chris is the California Kings. Now back to more video games.